Good day and welcome to Rocket with Chief, conversations to take you places. My name's Daniel Robus. I'm your host. For today's episode, I may fan out just a little bit because we've got Nick Jordan, lead singer of Rubber Duc, in today. One of the hardest working bands in the country. But Nick, you are like an iceberg. There is so much going on under the water. You're a Pretoria boys grad with a BA in digital marketing and media management. You seem to have started multiple career streams from the beginning, one in entertainment, one in business, but I'm going to circle back to that. Thanks for joining us. It's a real pleasure to speak to you, and I'm not afraid to say it. I'm a huge fan of what you guys do. So we're in February 2022. How different is this February from 2021 for you, Nick?
Oh, well, firstly, let me say, how's it, Hannah? It's very cool to be with you guys and be here on the podcast. Actually, quite a privilege to be speaking about these kind of things. I don't get to do that often. But if we do look at February 22 and how's it different from February 2021, a hell of a lot is different. We just in a completely, we're in a, there's a sense of normality in the air finally. Things for us are opening up on the music front. All the other businesses that we've been a part of in the eventing side of things, it's opening up again. Once more people are allowed to attend events, there's cool things, flashy events happening. A lot of the big music festivals in the past were, when happening, are finally happening. We have 3,000 people outdoors now. I just think there's that sense of normality in there. Everyone's cut full of anti-Rona and they're tired of it. And I think there's just that need again, for connection. There's a wonderful connection once again, which is really, really exciting. So 2022, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I'm glad. And, us who appreciate the arts, I think it's part of your soul is missing when you can't go to a concert, you can't go to a theater, you can't see people on stage. And I just honor to you for sticking with it, and to all the artists out there. What do you think about the solo bands that used to play in pubs? What's happened to these guys?
I think they were kind of, I think, a little bit more fortunate. Look, it's really a sad reality. A lot of South African artists are no longer around. And there are guys who obviously have pivoted and diversified and, chosen other careers because of sorry, move my phone silent, because of COVID. I think the harder hit guys were actually the bigger artists, funny enough. The bigger artists were the guys who need a lot of people in order for venues to be able to afford them.
Yeah.
So I think when the scene opened once again, the guys in the pubs who were playing the pubs were the first guys to kind of get work again, because you can afford to have a guy at a pub who's playing for 60 people. But when you're looking at big bands, good like Mango Groove, ourselves, Picasa, and you look at the urban markets, even worse, man. Those guys were living lives that were, great lives, with a lot more costs. And then, so I think when they're not working, it was It was really, really, really hectic,
Economics 101. If you are spending more than you are bringing in, ain't gonna work. Yeah, I think a lot of people miss that.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Tell me, the glamorous life of a band, is that fact or fiction for a South African artist like yourself?
It's a bit of both. I tell you why. It's I guess it depends how you see it. Like, what is glamorous to you and what's not glamorous to you. We get to travel this country. We get to see the most amazing, beautiful places in South Africa that a lot of people don't get to see. We've been to Pofadder. I mean, who's been to Pofadder? You always hear about it when you in high school and you're doing geography in South Africa and Pofadder comes up. There's a place like that exists.
Yeah.
It does. We've been to the most amazing places in South Africa, and depending on the nature of the gig, we've stayed in the most beautiful places too. But then again, depending on the nature of the gig, we've also been to really hectic places, and we've stayed in terrible accommodation.
Yeah, for sure.
We're definitely no longer campers, that's for sure. We used to go to festivals and starting out, and we would be like the young guys, we're gonna camp and get all muddy and enjoy and have a good time. Now, it's not our vibe anymore. We don't like camping. So there's a lot of things that how can I say, that are glamorous. The people we get to meet, we've met some amazing people. and there's also a lot of things that are tiresome. Traveling's tiresome. It really, really is. It isn't as fun as everyone thinks it is. And on the road a lot, you get to miss home. We haven't had, besides the last 2 years before COVID, I think the last time I had Christmas and New Year's, my family was 7 years before that.
Wow.
So yeah, when it's holidays for you guys, we're working. And then when it's weekend for the normal guy at 8 to 5, it's, we're working and we're in a studio. So it's pretty interesting though. But yeah, glamorous and not so glamorous. We love it.
Yeah, I was having a chat to my daughter about that, because she's in the arts as well. And it's like, dude, you're going to be away a long time. She says, Dad, but imagine the people. Anyway, are you back touring? Are you on the road now? Is there a schedule that's out? Can you do that in this current environment?
It's so difficult. Look, we're definitely kicking off 2022 on a much better note. Like I said earlier, the bookings are coming in. We're hoping to put an amazing tour together in December again. We haven't been able to really tour much since then. But look, things are opening up. Like I said, festivals are opening up once again. But yeah, it's been a while. It really has been a while, and I think people are still a little bit nervous, a little bit scared. We don't know, like I think personally, I think we're out of it. I think we are on the home stretch now. But as we saw in December, when there was talk of Omicron, whatever that variant's called, things shut down again. People were just too scared. People didn't want to pay deposits. People don't know, that was the biggest thing for us over the last 2 years, deposits. No one would pay deposits because for the first time,
you never know if you're going to play.
It was a much bigger risk for them. So it's been very interesting.
Oh man, we're going to dive into the business side of running a band and where you're going. I would say let's leave the public life and move more into your business. How do you keep busy when you're not making music and you're not on stage? What are you busy with?
So, we've had to diversify a hell of a lot over the last years, and before that we were solely working on Postaf and Rubber Duc. Postaf's an Afrikaans band. I'll come to that. But we were purely writing, recording music, and touring with Rubber Duc. And the last 2 years have changed things quite drastically. We work out of a studio now, and we are writing a hell of a lot. We write for other artists. We don't. It's a strange thing. It's like when we were writing for ourselves, we used to hold on to the music, and it used to be so like personal. And there's something so special about writing music for somebody else that you don't need to sing. And what we've started doing is we've acquired artists at the studio that we've sourced in the Afrikaans market, to be honest, nothing in English. And we're developing those artists, and we are writing for those artists. And we've the studios already had a number one in Afrikaans for 8 weeks on the Afrikaans music charts.
Wow.
Which is great. It's crazy. It's something that we've never been exposed to. So what we're doing on the side is we're writing, and a lot of writing. We've got a whole Rubber Duc album to create, or EP to create this year. We got an EP to do for Elof, this Afrikaans kid. We got a new guy we're working with called JXJ, Jack, which is going to be exciting. And then I'm also always on the hunt for something outside of the industry. Music has taught us that, when things get wild like a pandemic, that entertainment's the first thing to be cut, and that's a scary thing. So I think for most artists out there, I think a lot of us are trying to pivot and see what else is outside of the music industry. But the music industry is pretty much all we really know. But
do you enjoy producing, and do you enjoy managing now? Is that a different skill set for you?
Yeah, it is. I'm enjoying it because I just like developing artists, I think. I never really had that opportunity when I was younger. Basically, I was in the corporate acts. I was in bands that failed. It was very, very difficult. No one was out to scout back in the day like they are now. You have so much access to just content and people producing content on TikTok. We find people on TikTok, and we like these kids are really good. Let's get them to the studio and let's see if we can work with them. And I guess that's very, very exciting, because the pressure doesn't fall on you anymore, because we put the labels like it, then the label takes over. And then it's exciting to see someone else push what you've created, because it's a lot of pressure when it's yours.
And it's
So
like your baby getting to walk and to
yeah,
go. That's pretty cool. That is nice.
very,
How do
very
you,
cool.
so you've mentioned TikTok. How do you stay ahead of trends and current topics? Where do you self-educate?
Yeah. Yeah. So TikTok, I guess, sometimes the trends throw themselves at you, right? I mean, you can't really ignore TikTok right now. TikTok is, especially in media, TikTok's the next biggest, I think Instagram's slowing down, Facebook's slowing down. Facebook's for, they say, old people now. I don't think you'll find any, I'm still on Facebook. I don't think you'll find anyone below 20 now on Facebook. You'll be lucky if there's a Facebook profile. And Instagram's kind of going in the same direction.
Wow.
And all these social media sites is becoming so much more interactive. So I think TikTok's where it's at. So if you're not on TikTok, you're getting left behind. I'm not a great TikTok user. I think it's running away from me, to be honest with you personally. It's just too much. It takes a lot of time as well. But TikTok was a trend that threw itself at us in music, because all these artists were suddenly becoming massive because of this thing called TikTok. Artists that we never heard of in our lives, that came out of nowhere because of TikTok and videos that they were creating and content that they were creating that was just getting shared virally and getting millions and millions and millions of hits. And suddenly the song is on the global charts. And you're like, okay, cool. This person was made from TikTok. So that's, I guess, how we found the TikTok thing. I guess other trends, man. I'm always on the news in the morning. The first thing I do is I do like to look at the news, although it's it's quite depressing. I'm not going to lie to you, but it's fun.
Oh my word! Yeah, I know. But you need stuff to write. You need content, so you got to be you.
Yeah, but there's also, I follow the guy called the Good Things Guy. Love him.
Of course.
Sometimes you got to give yourself some good news to follow too, and then it makes you just feel good, like rejuvenates you.
Yeah.
So I do that, and then also YouTube. A lot of YouTube.
Wow.
You can learn anything from YouTube. YouTube's like a free university. So I mean,
Nick, podcast or book?
It's tough, eh? It really depends. They both have their pros, and their cons. I mean, I like reading.
What are you reading at the moment? At the
moment, I've just finished a book called The Alchemist, by Paulo Coelho, I think it is.
Paulo Coelho. Yes. Amazing. The universe conspires to help you achieve your destiny.
It's just so beautifully written, hey? And then I've also started on I don't know if you're allowed to swear on this podcast, but called Sam Bessinger, I think, Manage Your Money Like a Fucking Adult. Grown up, sorry. You're not taught these things. A lot of people aren't taught these things, it's an interesting one. Tribe, Seth Godin, I've read recently, and Jay Shetty, I'm really into at the moment. Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural is quite cool, but meditation and the importance of it. So that's how I'm kind of feeding my soul.
That unconnected life is pretty important for you. So staying away from technology and feeling tactile, feeling a book, playing a guitar, connecting with a person.
I really tried. I call it obviously the digital detox. I do it from about 9 p.m. at night. I'll turn my screens off. Awesome. And I'll get onto a book and I'll start reading just to get the blue light out of my face and just to really detox from everything that happens. I mean, you're never off your screen. You're never off a screen.
Yeah. And that's even us here, and I'm in Fours, and I know you're in the neighborhood. We should have been sitting in a cup of coffee. What would the title of the book be if it was written about you and was written by your worst corporate client?
Written about me and about our worst corporate client, what would the title of the book be? I've never had to think of that. That's that's quite a difficult question. That's a difficult question.
Yeah, I'll circle back to it. I know you can multitask here. So from a business management perspective and a business owner, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing South African-based business owners who are in the arts right now?
I think a lot of people, when they're starting out in arts, they don't understand the business behind it. They don't understand that at the end of the day, you're building a brand, and it's as important as the band or the act that they are. And a lot of kids, they don't know starting out that investing in yourself is as important. Don't take the money for personal use when you're starting a business. Just don't do that. And a lot of artists get caught up in that because they need the money instead of investing in themselves, and they never get to that point where where they're ever going to be bigger because they actually can't afford to be bigger. Money makes money. Unfortunately, it's just the reality. So I think any advice is that I always give to people starting out in the industry is invest in yourself, but also the biggest challenge is also our South African rights organizations and the people who are meant to be there to support the arts. They're not. They're just really, really not. And they, like South Africa, like everything in South Africa, there's a lot of corruption involved, and there's a lot of money owed to a lot of people. I know the Kifness, he was on Carte Blanche recently about the whole SAMRO, South African Music Rights Organization, who just don't pay out. And you got to go and you literally got to do all the hard work, their work. Basically, you got to do their job to get what's owed to you. So I think that's very, very difficult. And to be honest with you, at the same time, COVID, that's still right now to the day is still the hardest thing that we're facing in the entertainment industry. It's just too unpredictable.
Yeah. Do you have a business mentor? And
I do.
Why?
Yeah. I never had when we were starting out. We were very lucky. The song went really, really well, and we kind of put a good team together after it did really well. We had a lady who was managing us in the beginning.
Surprise, we're successful. Okay, now we can go.
Coming in, we had no clue. We had no clue about taxes. We had no clue about VAT. We had no clue about anything within the business management, running a business. And we had a manager at the time who took over, and she ran it in the beginning for us, and it was really good to have her. But as as we got older and we realized that we could do it ourselves, it was time for the change. And then Emil took over the running of the business. He's really, really good at that, and we all have our functions. We all have our skill sets that we're good at. I'm the creative. I'm the songwriter. I do all the creative stuff, Photoshops, videos, all that kind of stuff. And then Brendan produces all the music, and Emil runs the business. He does the books, and he makes sure that, we're getting paid. And
that's a good thing. Cool. That is a good thing. And what's so nice is it's tight. So you're on stage, you guys are tight. You can see how you practice. Practice makes perfect. And it sounds like backstage you tight as well. And it means you don't have to have a hand on everything. You know that your brother's got your back. They can go and do those things.
And also that they're good at what they do. I think that's also very, very important. Like any business you're building, you don't hire people that aren't gonna, get the job done. And I think over the years, Brendan's an insanely good producer. We've been very fortunate to have him. Emil's just really, really good at admin and playing bass. That's really good. Luckily, I got my degree in advertising
and buying drinks. He's terrible at buying drinks. He's nearly killed me.
So I think the team is just so you surround yourself with so important. And going back to our mentor, we have an Afrikaans band as well, which is something that we started. And the lead singer, actually, you should actually talk to him. He's in IT. He's the CEO of an IT company that does exceptionally well. And he is the lead singer of an Afrikaans band called Postduif, which is Rubber Duc. Think of Rubber Duc.
Yeah.
And an Afrikaans singer. And that's
that's so cool. I'm going to chat to him. You can introduce me to him.
You want to talk IT and business, man.
Yeah,
he is my business mentor. He's the fact that he can do this and he can make music a hobby because he did it the right way around. Yeah. He first started a business, became successful, then went into the music industry, and not kind of being in music going, oh shit, COVID's now what?
Yeah. What's the best thing about writing your own path? I mean, when you go and you sit with your gran and you're having a cup of tea with her, what's the most exciting thing about owning your own future like you guys do?
I guess what's exciting in terms of the creative side for me as well in owning your own future is that we get to influence people in a really positive way. I think, our what's the word I'm looking for? Our job really is to get out there and entertain people and make people feel emotions and go through different types of emotions. And for me, it's just an absolutely beautiful journey to do. That I'm able to write a song for my mother and you know, and she said to me she'll never ever in her life want, you know, need any other gift from me. And then my sister got married and asked me to perform at the wedding, and I said, I'm not going to just sing a cover. And I wrote her a song, and you know, it's specifically for her. And I think that for me is really special. We've written music where people have come up to us and they've said like, you know, if it wasn't for you, I was going through a really, really dark spell of depression, and your song is what got me out of that. And I'm really thankful to you, and always will be thankful to you. So we get to influence and touch people in ways a lot of other businesses don't.
Yes.
And I think that, and also, but there's also, you know, and that's where the power lies. But I mean, there's also a lot of negatives that come with that. You're in the spotlight, and you've got to be very careful what you say, and you know, because you don't want it to go the wrong direction.
You're accountable. Hey, you're responsible. I mean, that's when you're on a pedestal, people look up to you and your example.
You have a voice, and you lead by example, or you don't. So but that for me, writing our own destiny and just writing is basically like writing a song, man. It really is.
What's it? Four chords and the truth, and you've got a future.
That's we go. It. I mean, well, maybe
depends on the
stage. What it does.
Yeah, exactly. Nick, what's your best productivity hack and why?
A good night's sleep.
No, man, you're an artist. You don't sleep. I
need, listen, I really, really, really need my 8-hour sleep. I'm not going to lie to you. I try to get enough sleep. Meditation's a big thing for me. I think meditation is very important. I really, really, really love meditation. I meditate every morning. Awesome. I like to get to the gym every morning before I even start work. That's a big hack for me. It's just getting the energy levels in the right place and feeling good from the morning, and not having to worry about having to work out later in the day. Just fills your day with energy. And if you meditate, it just clears your mind and fills your brain with energy, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if you're a meditator, but
flat out. I have to. It's I just pray, but that's a whole different vibe. Nick, what's an essential IT tool that you carry from project to project? What is something on your phone or on your computer that's just you can't have without?
So in music, when you perform live, you have a lot of different desks, that sound desks. And what we hear on stage is very different to what the audience hear on stage. And the biggest IT tools that we have that we carry on us a lot is these apps that we use that mimic the desk in front of house. So we are able to kind of via our cell phones is do our own monitor mixes in our in-ears. So while we're checking everything, I can do all my levels in my in-ears on my phone, just because it's obviously connected to the front of house desk, and just makes things move a lot faster. And sound check go a lot faster. We all feel a lot more comfortable on stage. But that's IT things that we carry on with us.
Love it.
All the time. Yeah.
And you and the sound engineer can actually be working together, not working apart.
Well, he can focus on making us sound the best we can possibly sound up front and not have to worry about that. It takes the time away, so he can allocate the time rather to focus on making us sound as best we can up front.
Excellent.
What we hear on stage is completely different to what you hear up front. That's I'd say.
What do you wish your younger self knew about your current profession? So when you just finished and you just finished studying, and actually when you just finished school, what do you wish you knew then now?
I wish I was more adventurous. I am, if I look back, music has been a very adventurous career.
Dude, you travel the world, you travel the country, you stand in front of thousands of people. How much more adventure do you need?
I guess I went straight into music from the start, and I never got to explore that without it. So for me, it's more about, if I could go back, would be like, you know, I would do things just a little bit differently. I think I would have traveled by myself. I haven't done that before, and I think that's really, really important as a young kid. And also, I wouldn't have climbed straight into studying after school. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people can make, is study something that you're not really sure of, you know, and then you get a degree and you get put into a type of business that you that you don't want to be in, or career that you're really not, that doesn't suit you. So I guess that's what I would do. And also it's it's hard. South African music, the music industry in South Africa is very difficult. If you're English, it's a very difficult market to crack, and we've been very fortunate. Very small. So and especially the English pop, but really big in the same scale, because we compete with the whole world. We don't have our Amapiano genre, which is localized. We don't have Afrikaans, which is localized.
Yeah.
When we're in English pop, we compete with the whole world. We compete with Justin Bieber. We compete with everybody, and that makes it exceptionally difficult. And there isn't a huge market in South Africa for English pop, to be honest with you. So, yeah. I maybe would have left the country to carry on music. I should have. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe I should have. I believe I should have started.
We're coming to the end of our time. I'd love to ask you, what is the one question you wished I'd asked you that I don't know enough about, that I could have asked if I knew you better?
You kind of asked it in a weird way, but I guess it's. I got two. I think. Would you do it over? And is our schooling system, do you think the schooling system is outdated?
Yeah.
I think
that's a great one. Nick, do you think the schooling system is outdated?
I think the schooling system is completely 100% outdated. I believe that kids are studying things they shouldn't, that have absolutely no relevance to their lives. I think that every kid should be coding from a very young age. I believe that the world is totally changing out there. I believe that there's a whole metaverse, that internet 3.0 that's coming out there, that we are going to be little avatars, and that's where the money is going to be made. I don't think a lot of the subjects that kids are learning right now is really relevant. They should be teaching life skills. They should be teaching you about how to do your taxes in high school. They should be teaching you things that are real life skills that you really need, and going into life. And I just feel that the system is completely outdated. I mean, in the States, if you want to be a musician, you're studying music from 6 years old, and then you're going to school of rock.
Nick, that is a mind-blowing way to wrap this up, where I thought we were going to be going on something else, but you have to carry on talking about that as a dad, as a parent of two girls in the arts. I don't want them to be going anywhere else, but they have to be taught to run it like a business, and they have to understand it. And we need more people like you telling the story. So thank you for that, Nick. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed this time, and I could be asking you so much more, but I don't want to take that time. I'd rather invite you back at some stage.
Yeah, cool. That'd be awesome.
I've loved this time. I want to summarize that our kids should be coding from young and playing more piano.
100%. Play more piano, code from a young age. Yeah. I think that's where the future is, in terms of anything you're going to build in the future is going to be via the code.
Thank you.
Really is. Yeah.
Nick, Jordan, where can people get hold of Rubber Duc? Where can we book the band? Where can we book the events company?
You can get us on our website, rubberduc.co.za, on Instagram, Facebook, or the TikTok. Not really. We try. I don't know what we're doing. All the usual, and our booking. You can book us through Emil. He handles all our bookings and stuff like that. We're super excited to get the year going again, and got some awesome gigs coming up. So
thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your time. And I'm going to wrap up. It's Daniel from Rocket. Remember to subscribe and hear more from amazing people like Nick.
Awesome. Thanks, bud.